Thursday the 7th of May. Got it right that time. Yeah, I'm on the track again, and I'd like to talk about biodiversity and I suppose complexity. So if I look around me and all these fields, what they call here campos, you see that all of these farmers, they all go for monocropping, monocultura as they call it here, monocropping, i.e. they'll just basically be planting in one field one crop, i.e. olives or almonds or peaches or cherries or grapes. And if I look into everywhere where human beings aren't trying to grow, there's an incredible biodiversity, an incredible complexity of plants and all kinds of species of trees and plants and bugs and everything, all symbiotically living together. And it kind of makes me think about the reflection onto human beings and how we live and how humanity is, and the kind of way in which we're programmed to be very monoculture. And the thing about monoculture is that there's no resistance in it. It's so easy for a bug or a virus, a plague to arrive into that campo, into that field, and completely obliterate the crop. This is a very good example. Look, I'll show you now as I'm driving here. Look, I want to pan the phone around. Tree after tree, row after row after row, the same trees. So, and that's what we do, and it's like, and it kind of reminds me of a couple of things. It reminds me of how we were in school, all in lines, all in rows, all sat there, and the teachers wanting exactly the same results from exactly the same people. Everybody the same. There's no accounting for individuality. There's no accounting for individual character, individual abilities. Everybody kind of having to be the same. Same with these trees. The same in a vegetable garden. Everything lined up, one after the other, after the other, after the other. In comes, if you've got for example, if you've got, say, a place where you're planting, say, cabbages, and you have a row of cabbages, and along comes the famous cabbage white butterfly. It sees the cabbage, it lays its eggs on the cabbage. Next door there's another cabbage, and it's so easy to pass that bug from one to the other. The caterpillars from the from the butterfly just go from one to the other to the other, and they can take out a whole row very simply. And it's exactly the same with human beings. And we've kind of become very singular. We're kind of frightened of our own, of any complexity. And it's interesting the way that agriculture mirrors the human conditioning. You know, we kind of want to take out anything that thinks different from us, or acts different, or dresses different, or worships a different, or not a different God, but a God in a different way, or, you know. And that's what I've been looking at. We can't tolerate anything that's outside of this very narrow bandwidth of acceptance. And we become very weak. No resistance. The first thing that comes along, and we just fall like dominoes. Dominoes are another perfect example. One falls and they all fall. Blop, 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 all the way along the line. And it's exactly the same. This is why all these, in agriculture, modern day agriculture, they're having to put so many sprays of herbicide and pesticide, insecticide, and God knows what aside. It's almost suicide, which is what it is. It is a suicide. Human suicide. Genocide. You know? Because of the weakness, that we're so weak. We create weakness. Fragility is what we create. We don't create resistance. We don't create robustness, durability. And that everybody now has gone through all this kind of, these changes in the last couple of months. Many people are going to have lost their job. You know, they're not going to have that job because it's been taken out. And that's maybe all they know, because of the way that we are. So many people do one job and they stick at it all the way through their life. You know, oh, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm the other. This is what I do. What do you do? Hello, what do you do? What's your name? What do you do? It's one of the, the first two questions. And what do you do if you can't do what you do? And this is going to really crash in on many people. Many people have become so one-dimensional, so unable to adapt, dependent. It's what this world has created, this kind of weird dependency, but it's not like a dependency of like a symbiotic, where everything is working like in a forest, a symbiosis of everything being beneficial to the other. This is like dependency where one thing grows and the other thing just barely survives to keep that one other thing growing. So, the complexity in a system of nature is something I find really beautiful. Something that I find inspiring. Challenging to understand. But I like that kind of challenge. Challenging to observe, but I like that kind of challenge. And I think that we need to embrace complexity and embrace diversity. Because in our diversity, we're strong. in our diversity, we actually are much more supportive to the whole. In our diversity, we are like a reflection of celebration. And I think that that's kind of really been taken away from us. And it's something that we need to get back, and we need to nurture. Nurture our nature. Our true nature. And marvel at how expansive and able we are, and adaptive that we are, how resistant we are, because we're bloody resistant. We're incredibly resistant. But if we don't push that resistance, we become weak. If we don't work out, we become weak. And that's the thing about like our immune system. Our immune system, through all of those diverse experiences, it becomes stronger. And the thing is that people sitting at home, they haven't been able to go out. They haven't had any kind of external stimulation. I wonder how that's going to affect them. I can't see it as being a good thing. Because we need diversity. We need that challenge to function properly, to be full. We're much, much, much more resilient, much, much, much more able than we've been shown. And yet when you look in nature, really look in nature, you see this incredible resistance through diversity. And that's something that I really have been reflecting upon. And I feel that it's something I really want to embrace more and more in my life. And I really want to encourage everyone to embrace and dance and celebrate the diversity and the complexity that we have. So, with that, I'll leave you. Lots of love, blessings. I send love, light, and positivity. And until the next time, peace. Ciao.